In today's video, we're going to talk about the Kaiju Monsterverse, aka Godzilla x Kong The New Empire, which at the moment comes out March the 15th, 2024. As we know, literally every movie always gets pushed, but hopefully this movie won't be pushed. So there's a bunch of information to go over to do with the movie, to do when the possible trailer is coming out. It's looking very likely that it's going to be at San Diego Comic-Con. Got some new details to talk about, kind of. And we're going to go over a bunch of other stuff to do with the Kaiju-verse, Monsterverse stuff. So, yo, what is freaking good YouTube bullshit here? If you're new around, make subscribe to never miss any of the Kaiju, Monsterverse, Marvel, DC content that I try to personally cover on a daily basis. If you could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know which Kaiju Monsterverse character Titan do you want to appear in this movie. Is Mecha Godzilla and Behemoth gonna turn up like everyone seems to think? Do you remember that scene that broke the first leak when they were shooting and there was a news cruise there in Australia when it was coming out of the water and loads of people were running and screaming on the beach? Some people seem to think that's Behemoth. I was just thinking it was Godzilla personally. So if you could check us out on Instagram at WashStew to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. If you could check us out on Twitter, WashStewG. Right, let's go. So according to the internet, Warner Bros. Had a panel at CinemaCon in Europe, which took place in Barcelona, which for the American people, that's in Spain, just in case you don't know. So this took place June the 19th, June the 22nd, and they shown some Godzilla x Kong behind the scenes stuff. Now, I've tried so hard to get hold of this, I just can't get hold of it. And even if I could get hold of it, I couldn't really show you what was there. But what is important here is, yes, Warner Bros. Distribute it, so technically Warner Bros. Would be in charge of the marketing. Although Warner Brothers aren't very good at marketing, at least when it comes to DC movies. They actually are pretty good at marketing other movies like Dune. Dune is another Legendary Pictures movie as well, but it's also distributed by Warner Brothers currently. That is possibly potentially going to change in the future. So the reason why it's good that they were showing some footage here at Cine Euro last month is because this means we're getting a trailer at San Diego Comic-Con 2023, which is now this month. Now, a lot of people would discredit this and say, no, they're not getting a trailer. You are getting a trailer at San Diego Comic-Con. I'm not saying it's going to be a 2.5-minute trailer, but from everything I've been told personally, there is going to be a trailer and or either at San Diego Comic-Con later this month in July or during the month of July. I've been told there is a trailer. Now, when it comes to Monsterverse stuff, generally, if you remember Godzilla versus Kong, your boy hooked you up with the literal whole plot like 8 months before the movie dropped. So trust me, when it comes to information, I get the drop on stuff. It's not always right because I can be misinformed, but I have it on very good record that there will be a trailer at or either during San Diego Comic-Con. And to be honest, Warner Brothers doesn't have DC there. James Gunn has officially said he's not going to be there. And now he's in charge of DC Studios. That means DC won't be there in terms of whatever he's trying to build. And they've just recently dropped the Dune 2 trailer. So it's very unlikely that they're going to drop another trailer at San Diego Comic-Con for that. So Warner Brothers don't have, and Barbie will be out by then. Oh, okay. Barbie comes out around about the 21st of July-ish. So Warner Bros. Have to drop something. Even though it's a Legendary Pictures movie, I do believe they are dropping a trailer, so I've been told that. So I will actually drop the link down below if I remember, but I'm going to pop it over the screen now. Now, this is interesting because, as we know, the test screening information is pretty viable, is pretty real. Careful for spoilers, I don't want to ruin your life. We've been over it a few times. But there's a post going around which really does discredit Godzilla x Kong. And to be fair, it does bring up some good points. No Mothra, no Ronin, awesome Titans, and we know Mothra eggs was recovered and Ronin was roosting in a fall. According to the post-credit, both of these could come in the movie. It also involves the Hollow Earth and Hellhawks were supposedly baby Ronins. That could be connected somehow. Overall disappointed at their no-show. Now, what I find interesting about people is people don't understand the reasoning behind what a test screening is there for. The first test screening, they will probably test screen this movie 5-6 times. It is nothing close to the final product. This movie has to have some other Kaiju Titans in it, other than, careful spoilers, I don't want to ruin your life, other than the new Kong, if you like, who apparently the orangutan is going to be called Scar King. Okay, we know that's factually going to happen because it's literally everywhere, and there's also toys out there and stuff. And to be fair, the toys are what reveal stuff. So Godzilla and Kong will be getting some new upgrades, upgraded weapons if you like. So Shamu, who is being donned as Space Godzilla, because I made a video last year and it went viral, not for me. It only got 25,000 views, but for some reason, literally every publication, every, pop culture based, loads of different YouTubers covered it, which is kind of interesting because it's just little old me. But what I'm trying to say is there will be a bunch of new Titans in this movie for sure. So this post on Reddit, I will link. It is interesting. So it goes on to say more Titans. While new Titans are cool, there is no screen time for half the minor Titans, and some like Behemoth barely got anything. They have the lore so far. Cool. Why not explore that or something like the Godzilla Aftershock movie? Now, what I find interesting about this post here is you're kind of misconstruing what they're going to do. Do you really think they're going to explore Hollow Earth for a 2-hour movie and you're not gonna see any other Titans in the movie at all outside of Scar King and Shamui? I do find that fascinating. So there's obviously multiple synopses out there. There's so many of them, but it makes it clear that we're going to be getting new monsters, not just the main protagonist. Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire would transport audiences into an unexplored depths of a brave new world of spectacular new monsters. Okay, plural. It's not just going to be Scar King and Shamu. There will be multiple other ones. Heroic adventures in awe and inspiring set pieces on a scale unlike anything ever seen before. This promises to be a true cinematic spectacular that demands to be seen on the biggest screen ever. Okay, if that doesn't scream there's going to be other monsters in this movie. Chill, bro. There will be other monsters in this movie for sure. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. Cybernetic enhancements. APEC and cybernetics only work to a point. Like Mechagodzilla. To be fair, I love the hype loop facility thing they had. And if they had a giant facility like that on Skull Island Mountain or on Hollow Earth facility, I would be all for it. But a cybernetic Kong? No, thank you. He would be much better with the rough iron armor or something like that. As a side note, considering we have Mechagodzilla, something like that, Monsterverse, Jet Jagger wouldn't be too bad. So it's realistically for toy sales, for Funko Pops, etc. They have to get enhancements. They have to get new weapons because they're old Titans. So they have to have something that enhances them. Even Scar King, careful spoilers, don't ruin your life. Scar King has a secret weapon, a giant snake corpse that he uses as a whip to control Shamu. It's kind of interesting. So we know Godzilla, we know both Godzilla and Kong will get some kind of upgrade because for some reason this orangutan Scar King is going to be so OP, even though if you actually read the whole plot, Godzilla has actually bossed Scar King before, which I do find fascinating. So we're going to uncover a bunch of cool things inside the Hollow Earth, which they already did as they were traversing through the multiverse. As they were traversing through Hollow Earth in Godzilla vs. Kong, we've seen lots of new areas, we've seen lots of new things, but we didn't explore it. So this post goes on to say, Scar King. The whole thing sounds wrong. The Titans are meant to be force of nature, restoring the balance of the planet, not tyrants with power plots and control goals. Also, locked away by Godzilla long ago, came out of their sealed prison. That's literally a Kung Fu Panda level plot, not for the Monsterverse. And to be fair, whoever wrote this post, does bring up a lot of good points, but you got to realize a test screening is just a test screening. That is it. Scar King also seems shallow. He was just part of a troop and decided to become a tyrant because he liked power. That seems really off for someone with goals and plans and intelligence. Godzilla does not appear to deliberately lock a threat. It's more of a submit or die, the only reason. Ghidorah was trapped because he fell out of the sky into a deep gorge. Probably a location Godzilla could not access. Maybe that's how their imprisonment that will be revealed in the future. Fascinating. And this next bit here is the most fascinating thing. Shamu, this is even worse than Scar King. This is just Ice Godzilla against Godzilla. And the Ice Crystal Whip, no Ice Age causing Godzilla is going to serve something because of a whip. It will just kill the owner. and the ice crystals controlling Shamui, Monsterverse is just giving up on sci-fi and headed straight for a magical fantasy at this point. Now, I do understand where this person's coming from, but I also find it kind of funny because test screen information can be wrong. Now, okay, sure, this somewhat has been validated by stuff that's been said online, but there are things called reshoots and stuff. We know that's harder because of the writer's strike. They can't rewrite anything. We know there will be reshoots for this movie, but to discredit the whole movie saying the plot is whack just based off a plot leak is you haven't actually seen it. And when I went over the plot leaks for Godzilla vs. Kong, it turned out to be 100% true. A lot of the comments said the plot wasn't very good, and then the movie comes out, makes just under $500 million when, you know, what's going on in the world. It was just about to start recovering globally. And also it came out on HBO Max day and day release and still hit $500 million. So the reason they've got to start promoting this movie properly at Comic-Con is because they can this movie really has potential to hit like $700 to $900 million if they market it right. So to say these plot points and these mechanisms and these cybernetic enhancements kind of discredits these titans who are a force of nature, I get where you're coming from. But at the same time, it's a movie, so it's got to have some kind of plot point. And yeah, major enhancements, they always do. Mechagodzilla was basically a mechanical Godzilla, realistically. And yeah, Godzilla will get a new enhancement. And sure, Kong will get a new enhancement. They need to. Sure, they should be able to fight without him, but realistically, Godzilla's already bossed one of the new titans we're going to see anyway. Like I said, this video isn't really going over the plot leak, but we have to briefly touch upon it. So it somewhat makes sense that there are going to be cybernetic enhancements on Godzilla because it's all to do with toy sales. So they make a lot of money in toy sales. It's all to do with the toy sales, and generally when they introduce new titans, new protagonists, they have to be stronger than the hero, aka Godzilla and Kong in this situation, and we know they're going to team up and we'll take out Scar King and Shamui pretty easily by the end of the movie. It is somewhat pretty similar to Godzilla vs. Kong, except for instead of Mechagodzilla, it's going to be Shamui and Scar King who they take out. So, like always, guys, check us out on Instagram. We'll shoot to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful face. Check us out on Twitter. Hwist2G, and I would try my best to do more kaiju monsterverse based content, but there really isn't much to talk about when it comes to the monsterverse at the moment, so the videos haven't been that frequent to do with X-Kong. But when we get the trailer, I can make a lot more content on the monsterverse, and when new information comes out, I can also talk about it. So thank you very much for spending a few moments with me today, and I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.